The extraordinary miracles that happened in Fatima will give you chills. Travel back in time to the year 1917 to a small village called Fatima in Portugal. Something incredible happened there, involving 3 young children and their encounter with the Virgin Mary. People began to gather, hoping to witness something extraordinary. And on a special day in October, a breathtaking event took place in the sky. Let's dive into the history of Fatima, where incredible things took place and left people speechless. In May 1917, 3 children aged 7, 9, and 10 said they saw the Virgin Mary on their way home after taking care of a flock of sheep. This was the beginning of the story of a famous miracle that took place in Fatima, Portugal. Lucia, the eldest daughter, was the only one who could speak to her. Mary told the children that she would see them again on the 13th day of each of the next 6 months. Then she was gone. The children immediately told their parents about it. Some people in the village did not believe it, but others did and told more people. As the weeks and months passed, more and more believers made pilgrimages to Fatima, where the children said Mary had visited them. However, no one else saw the Virgin Mary. Instead, the adults in the room listened attentively as Lucia took the initiative and began to talk about what she saw. In his book, In Search of a Miracle, Joe Nickell writes, "About 70,000 people were on the scene waiting for the Virgin's last visit, and many of them were sure that she would perform a great miracle." As before, the image presented itself only to the children. She called herself the Lady of the Rosary and asked people to change their ways and build a chapel on the spot. After telling the children that World War I would end and giving them dreams she did not want to talk about, the woman raised her hands to the sky. Then Lucia shouted, "The sun!" When everyone looked up and saw a golden disc coming out from behind the clouds, they saw what is known as a sun miracle. Not everyone said the same thing. Some people said they saw the sun dancing around the sky, while others said the sun headed toward Earth in a zigzag pattern that made them fear it might hit our planet. Some people said they saw brightly colored pinwheels coming out of the sun, but thousands of other people saw nothing unusual. The whole thing happened in about 10 minutes and became known as the Miracle of the Sun. It is one of the most well-known things that happened in Fatima. So what really happened in Fatima? What did the tens of thousands of journalists and onlookers see? We can start by pointing out what definitely did not happen. The sun did not really dance in the sky. We know this because everyone on Earth lives under the same sun, and if the nearest dying star suddenly started doing gymnastics in the sky, a few billion other people would surely have told us about it. No one else could have missed it because it was so obvious. At dawn on a cold, quiet morning in Park City, this beautiful picture was taken. This is called sundog and happens when sunlight is bent by ice crystals. This photo was taken by Don Brown with an Olympus OM1 and a 28mm lens. It shows 2 perihelion on each side of the sun, one that is almost visible to the top. To see this, the ice crystals must be mostly horizontal and the line of sight between the sun and the viewer must be nearly horizontal. This shows that the experience was not what it appeared to be. In his book, Nickell said the crowd may have seen a sundog, which is a small spot of light that can sometimes be seen next to the sun. Sundogs, on the other hand, do not move, so that cannot be why people thought the sun was moving. Therefore, the sun dance may have been seen only in the heads and thoughts of the pilgrims, not in the sky above. So there must be a psychological reason for this, and there is. Thousands of people looking at the sky, hoping, expecting, and even asking for a sign from God. This causes an optical illusion. It is dangerous to look straight at the sun, so those in Fatima that day were looking at the sky around the sun. If you do that for a long time, your eye muscles will get tired, and it will look like the sun is moving. The fact that different people experienced different things or nothing at all is also strong evidence for a psychological explanation. No one is saying that people who said they saw the miracle of the sun or other wonders at Fatima or elsewhere lied or made it up. Instead, it is possible that they did what they said they did, even if it was mostly in their minds. What about the 3 young children who saw Mary and made Fatima famous in the Christian world? It is unclear what, if anything, they saw. To the people who believed, it made sense for Mary to show up and speak only to innocent peasant children, using their humble positions to spread her lessons of peace and spiritual salvation. Skeptics, on the other hand, pointed out that there was no real evidence that miracles were happening. They said that Lucy was just a fanciful maiden who influenced her younger sisters, who were easy to convince. There were other lesser-known parts of the Fatima story, such as the secret messages and prophecies that were given to Lucia. As Nickel points out, some of the prophecies were true, but they were written after the events occurred, so they were not prophecies at all. There was probably also some minor mass hysteria going on, which is when one person sees something and is excited about it, which causes other people to notice and start seeing the same thing. This is neither unusual nor dangerous. Mass suggestion can be very strong, and it is not difficult to find cases of religious people seeing things that may not be real. In fact, Fatima is just one of hundreds of places where the Virgin Mary is said to have shown up over the centuries. It is not strange that shapes that look like people can be seen as religious images, especially during religious holidays. People see these images for the same reason they see faces in the clouds: rose shirt blots and coffee stains. This is called pareidolia in psychology, and it is thought to be the cause of many things that people think are strange or miraculous, such as the famous Jesus and the tortilla story. Whether the sightings are the result of a miracle or a normal psychological process, people who believe in them are happy to see them. As we conclude our journey through the events of Fatima, we would like to hear your thoughts. What do you think really happened? Was it a real miracle, or could there be another explanation? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more engaging stories.